Governor Bob Ferguson rejecting the latest budget proposal from the House and the Senate Democrats, calling it just too reliant on taxes. Earlier this week, Democrats presented a list of taxes, including property tax hikes, an expansion of the tax targeting the state's top investment earners, sales tax rates for certain professional services, and Tesla vehicles.
My approach is a balanced one. We're going to need some progressive revenue, but we need to make sure we're being as efficient and lean as possible right now as a state government. And so there was a proposal originally from the legislature of like 16 or 17 billion in taxes, way too much. More recently, they've come in at 12 billion. I said that is still too much.
So budget writers say they will likely look at dialing back taxes and increasing cuts to state services. Joining us now is former state senator Reuven Carlyle. So, okay, let's just start with the legislature. Just over a week from that April 27th deadline, the governor and the Democratic leaders seem pretty far apart, especially because of the tax situation. So what can you tell us about what's happening behind the scenes here?
As you just said, the governor has come out against a really large $12 billion package. So all of a sudden, they have to go back to the drawing board. At the same time, he's taken the wealth tax off the table. But in a little bit of news, the inside story is that he's also really reticent around any property tax increase of substance. So all of a sudden, you might see a real shift in the final deal, but they are in really intense final negotiations, and I think they're still on track to try to hammer something out.
So on track, but still some distance there. Yeah. So Republicans are in the minority in both the House and the Senate. So how do they factor in what they want also as they try to come together and reach a deal?
Yeah, one of the reasons that Governor Ferguson has come out against a large package of taxes is the uncertainty around federal taxes or federal Trump administration tariffs. So the Republican brand in Washington state is a little bit tenuous right now. And the fact is that they're not major players in Olympia in terms of the operating budget negotiations. Where the Republicans do play in real time really is the transportation budget. There's a lot of discussion about a 6-cent gas tax increase potentially to take care of maintenance and operations. And there seems to be more of a bipartisan consensus on that particular issue.
So given that you spent 14 years as a legislator and as a budget writer, how do you think this is all going to play out? And does it look like taxes will be part of that deal?
It does look like there will be taxes, absolutely, without a question. It just looks like there'll be more traditional sources, such as the business and occupation tax, such as a potential expansion of the capital gains tax, which was reaffirmed by voters last year, as well as closing a lot of tax loopholes and tax breaks. So it looks like they'll just fall back on the more traditional taxing structures than try a whole new series of new taxes that are new to the game.
You've been in the game and then watching from the outside for a long time. Is this session different from anything you've ever seen before, in part because of what we see happening at the federal level?
Yeah, the uncertainty is absolutely the central driver. No one's seen anything like it. And as you said, in the whole tariff issue adds a whole level of uncertainty. It is also Governor Ferguson's first session. He's got to write a whole new budget. So he's been very clear about what he is against. What Governor Ferguson hasn't done yet is been clear about what he's for. And I think that has caused a bit of consternation and a little bit of additional uncertainty. So I think normally they'd probably be where they are now, probably about a week or two ago. But hopefully they still nail it and hammer it out.
Is there more clarity on what he's for than there was a couple of weeks ago? Do you think we're getting there?
I think they are getting there, but I think it's more clear that he just wants a whole lot more cuts in spending than additional taxes were expected.
Okay, and you do think we're going to make the April 27th deadline?
I think it's still, it's politics, okay. So it's still 50-50.
All right, well, we'll have you back next week. Reuven Carlyle, always appreciate your time. Thank you.